Thank you to all my friends and poetry supporters who came out on this August evening. And I'm honored to share this space with talented writers and my fellow Gravitas poets Anton Yakovlev and Gerd Stern. I'm going to start out with the title poem to my second chapbook, Kamikaze Dance. When kamikaze touches down, leaves chat, trees prance, spirits whirl. In a lover's trance, all nature stirs, birds aflutter, their melodious arias in sync. A teasing sun plays hide and seek, casts shadows on the Orfento Valley's lush green, dares the clouds to reply. Woman of earth, I was parched for breezes, danced my childhood days in windswept Philadelphia, chasing destiny. Mountain days here in Abruzzo's ancient spa town of Caramanico Terme transport me back through the wind's whispers and roars, where the adjacent park's wild residents rhapsodize away the indigo evenings as I seek shelter under chameleon skies and again dance with trees. This is called Wizard Ass. It was in Live Mag this past year. It's all in the timing. You have to keep the game in play as long as possible. Gauge your investments. Coin gets eaten fast. Most times what you see is what you get. Unless you're hiding under a glass dome like I used to do, I'd let them tilt me too low, pump me too hard. Then I learned to trap them, became an expert at manipulating steel balls, holding them in place using my brain, not my hips, so they would nudge harder and get locked out. I scored my way into multiple replays, balls piled up in the drain. I never limited myself to themes as I like most music. Now I'm relaxing, resting my sharpened flippers, anticipating my next visit to the arcade. Yeah. And from my latest collection, my first full-length collection, We Became Summer. This is called Amelia. A lady from Puglia landed in East Harlem in the early 1900s. She bore 8 children, including my father. Headed by an unskilled laborer, the family relocated to Bryn Mawr. I hear my grandmother held court from a fluffy sofa next to a living room staircase. She insisted her children see no hurdles, emulate the prosperous wasps who settled on Philadelphia's main line. I hear she taught Italian immigrants English. I hear she served tea from a real silver service to paesani who visited her tiny row home. I hear she pilfered a close friend's sweater. My father adored her. My mother said she was crazy. I bear her name and want to be nothing and everything like her. I'm really big into music, and I have a live music section in my latest book, but I haven't read this poem in a while. It's called Samba Shula. 10 musicians from the countryside keep alive the samba strains of their Sal Braz forefathers, play the Delta views of Brazil. 2 brothers sing in harmony while tapping tambourines. The guitarist, once exiled to France, is back and on key. 4 ladies in bright white skirts twirl to the subtle beat, samba with their feet. A tangle of beads sways with their bodies. They speak with hands and hips, invite onlookers to the floor, delight in this music, a risk of dying with the band. Ibarra didn't live 9 lives. She stopped at 1. Her job spanned over 50 years at Fender Guitars, where small, nimble hands of Latino teen made waves. A pickup winder, she advanced from work and soldering and lit a path for other young women who found joy in a unique job. Striving for brilliance, her electric guitars mesmerized legions of fans and radicalized the sound of rock music. She drew demand from Jimi Hendrix, Joan Jett, Eric Clapton, who relied on her handcrafted pickups for their edgy sound. A legacy with measure, they say she wound guitar wire that would have circled the world 16 times. And so I have a section on Italy in my latest collection, and this is called When in Italy. Feel beautiful in Rome. Grab a bike and get happy in Ferrara, the planned Renaissance city where people travel by cycle round ancient walls and along the Po. We trace Joyce's steps in Trieste and feel the splash of the Adriatic's far north reach. Work hard in Milan, where serious Italians operate on Swiss time. Greet my cousins in Teramo, where hills shrouded in gold harbor lambs and mushrooms. Get mystic in Ravenna, where east meets west, and Byzantine mosaics adorn centuries-old cathedrals. Uncover Italy's true masterpieces in Positano, sea and sky and rock, the big hole in the mountain that resembles, well, anatomy, and then indulge in heaping plates of spaghetti con vongole, pledged to stay forever and never go back. Full moon over Cannes. Tangerine dreams were shaking my sleep, so I took the muse down under. My verse needed a shot of nature and color. My head craved a new sense of place. Thoughts of tropical heat and early spring and music-filled nights made 4 flights bearable. Despite ugly reports, the Great Barrier Reef breeze, residents and brilliant hues of green, orange, and blue circled our boat. Lone sea turtles surfed underwater. Coral, dancing in spill, spoke to us. Far from shore, a whale waved hello. Near dusk, a flock of fruit bats flew low as we strolled from McGinty's pub. A tropical mist coated the indigo night. Dark clouds floated below a black, tattooed moon. Immersed in shrill silence, hands like a calyx, growing thorns to keep us still. And short poem, Poetry on Demand. In his innocence, he asked me to write poems, supplies the titles. How could he understand the test of mining tales from the soul? Reliving death and resurrection, camouflaging mendacity, unmasking loved ones. I doubt I ever possessed my nephew's purity at the tender age of 6. This is called No Happy Ending. I breathe in his scent, shun his sultry gaze, and leave the party early and alone. He pursues me. I like his words, manner, the Irish accent I hadn't caught at first listen, the walk to the train. Weeks later, amid silence, his words slice through me. Despite his younger years, I want more than a fleeting encounter. I'm willing to caress another raging ego, take on emotional havoc. Who doesn't want to believe this time you're the one? Bardo, they're up there in transition, sandwiched between old and new lives, floating, attachment dissolving, thoughts turning pure. They'll become who they're meant to be, as long as they have the grit to conclude unfinished business, journey on. The next time I trot up clouds of horses and unicorns, I'll be more respectful of friends and family. Speaking to stars is never in vain. This poem from my latest collection won an award from Philadelphia Poets last year.
Yeah.
It's called Lessons Learned from Moths. I learned the art of detachment from a destructive past, romanticized by poets whose origins go back millions of years. Celestial nomads that feast on leather, wool, silk, felt, and thrive on night taught me to let go of longing. Animals stuffed with memories, dolls from a distant dad, an embroidered coat from Gimbel's. When I returned to my late mother's home, white larvae covered elegant outfits. Souls fell from fur pumps. Moths cunningly coached me to occupy now, not dwell in closets lined with past lives, nor focus on nostalgia, tarnished by death and deceit. Again, thank you everyone for coming out. I have two last poems. They're fairly new, and I appreciate everyone's support. Matthew, KGB Bar. This is called Forgetting. Friends and lovers should be stamped with an expiration date to forewarn us when the end approaches. I need to brace myself better for betrayal, a nasty outburst, the monster rearing his head. So to sharpen the art of forgetting, I enter a small room that overlooks a tangle of trees and orange azaleas. Warmed by an espresso macchiato, I struggle to remember the magic that touched this gypsy soul and stay locked away until I erase the how, the why forever. Then I vow to take faith in the now and head to the river Lethe for a swim. And this is called Survivors. Cowhows reemerged on Bermuda's Nonsuch Island after a 300-year absence. They thrive amid native flora, wildlife, and limited access to man. Tangier Island, in the middle of Chesapeake Bay, supplies the world with soft-shell crabs, where water defines life, where home and country matter. The piping plover, hailed one day each summer for its resurgence in the Rockaways, New York, lives protected in camouflage nests on the beach. Shadowboxing artichokes, clinging jellyfish, bone beds and badlands on Fossil Freeway in South Dakota. Me, I'm the woman with medicine in her voice, a forest bather, mating like a corpse plant, melting into time, floating toward a 12th life like a trumpeter swan.
Yeah.